And we're live.
Awesome.
How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Buongiorno.
Welcome back, everyone, to the.
Bloody, I keep cutting off. I'm king of hell. I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to say. But I'm also a synth. No, simp. Simp.
With an N.
It's all
And a
good.
TH.
Welcome to Fanzone's Nerd Talk time. Yay! Us nerds.
Blimey, this is NerdTalk. You know, they're always telling me about this one. I always wanted to join.
Well, I think, Senna, you said you wanted to start off with a wonderful announcement for today, so you got the floor.
All right. Well, first off, we're going to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. And, hope you have a very good day. And enjoy your, hopefully you're barbecuing and outside today. Have a lovely day.
See, I would love to barbecue, but it's raining here. Well, it has rained here.
How's it going, everybody?
So the Apple Daddy is just having a beer and chilling with the finest people in existence.
Oh,
Nice.
I got fish on the menu tonight.
We would be barbecuing here, but we're in a fire warning, so we
Yeah.
can't.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Oh,
So,
No barbecue for you.
you spark a barbecue here, you're gonna set 4 states on fire. That's
Pretty much.
Hey, roll the die.
That's what I say in life. Just roll
yeah,
it.
take a chance, baby.
Take your chances, buddy.
Well,
Really?
Barbecue with risk. I like that. That sounds more tasty.
I'll barbecue it with charcoal.
According to a friend of ours, they're
Lies
in Florida
on
and they've got a tropical depression, so that'd be perfect for barbecues and fires. So, yeah, plenty of water.
that sounds perfect.
Florida.
That
Yes.
would give count-
Florida's probably the closest thing you can get to hell.
Probably, yeah.
I'd say Portland, but yeah, I'd have to go
Yeah,
to Florida.
true.
Maybe. But I mean,
Closest
it doesn't
ever.
roll up the tongue quite as.
So we discuss those later.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I mean, like all this kind of weather right now. It's like, oh yeah, let's.
It's pretty bipolar right now.
Yeah.
It do be that time of the year.
Go out and bronze yourself like a Greek goddess, and then oh my God, it's raining.
You said
Where I
it earlier.
Where I live, it's the thing that you say is you just wait 5 minutes
Yeah.
and it'll change. You know.
Nope.
Oh, is it sunny
you have
outside?
5 minutes, wherever I know. Yeah.
Oh, is it sunny outside? Just wait 5 minutes. It's gonna start hailing and tornadoes will spout from the
Oh.
sky.
Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that moment when you've been out and it's been hammering it down with rain, and then like 2 seconds later, peaking sunshine, and you're like, what the hell just happened? I mean, it was super heavy rain, and now I'm sweating to death.
There. You can come join
Yes.
us? No?
Have you ever had sunny rain where it's like completely
Nope.
sunshine outside and it's raining?
I was
Oh,
always
yes,
told it
yes,
was
yes,
called
there-
Devil
there-
Beating His Wife.
I mean, there is a name for that, but I'm not allowed to say it because although it's not really, detrimental, some people might take it detrimentally.
Oh,
I'll say we had that once in where I live. We had just sunny day and then just lightning strikes.
no.
It's like, all right, well, you're on your
Zeus
bipolarness.
just decided to come roll in, I guess.
Like, we're just gonna stay inside until you figure it out, okay? Come back 10 degrees and we'll be okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, I just run out into the sunshine. I'm like, burn me, God! Why don't you?
Set me on fire!
Turn me into a crispy golden brown.
And then he sends a message in the sky and calls me a boomer.
Like, I walked down to a pizzeria a couple days ago and literally I became a crisp golden brown.
Just fry me up, Mother Nature. Batter me up and
So
fry me up,
you
Mother
were the
Nature.
hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, really. I literally became an hors d'oeuvre. And I was only out there for like 20 minutes. And it's like, yes, This state's weather is going to burn. Thank
Going
you.
to be the end of
See, I can't wait to get my ass out there to you guys because one, I can't wait to meet you, and two, the weather is so much better.
Right? Except here in SoCal. SoCal weather can just take a hike because it doesn't know what it wants to do yet, but it will sooner or later figure it out. Sooner. I think. Never know.
Yeah, you never know.
We'll throw a pin, like a dart, at it, and whatever it lands on, it'll be 4 selections away.
Ooh. Okay.
We'll try.
So, the topic for today's little podcast, Nerd Talk, is the E3 new games. Like,
Yes, the E3 hot dogs.
Yes.
Oh.
No, we're really talking about this. Is not the damn hot.
Oh, sorry.
We're getting away from barbecues now. Goddammit.
I thought it was common knowledge.
I mean,
You're making me miss.
we can always talk about roast meat and some
I
other
was
stuff.
looking forward to the. I was looking forward to the hot dog. It's a mustard barbecue sauce. Yum yum.
Ketchup, barbecue sauce, any kind of dressing.
Yes.
But anyway, yes. Tell us.
Yes.
Continue.
Okay, so I'm not sure if y'all know this game that I saw on the thing, but I'm really excited about the Dragon Ball Z Experience game.
Oh.
Did y'all see that one?
No, I didn't.
I think I did.
Apparently,
I'm an avid Dragon Ball fan from when I was 18 years old, which, by the way, was a very, very long time ago, people. I'm 4.5 billion years old.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I used to love it when I was a teenager, and I watched it forever. But apparently the game is a storyboard. Like, you go through the story of the Dragon Ball Z verse, and it's a roam around game. Apparently, it's not just fight, see the same screen, you know, the movie, the TV shows, and then you go back to fighting. No, you can apparently walk around in this world.
It's free roam.
Yeah, it's free
Wait,
roam.
so like a sandbox version of the Dragon Ball verse, in a solo story. That's pretty epic.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, they tried to do that with Kakarot, but it was still too story driven, I think.
Yeah.
What I'd be interested to see is them do an actual game based on just Dragon Ball. 'Cause there's so many different Z games, but there's not really since like the 80s and 90s. There really hasn't been many like Dragon Ball related.
Well,
And I'm not too sure if it goes
Have
through
you ever-
all the
sorry.
storylines, but I think it does hit Dragon Ball. I'm not too sure. I'd have to rewatch it, but for the small clip that I watched, I think it covers it. I'm not too sure though.
there was a game way back in the ether called Dragon Ball Online. Only released in Japan and Korea, China, and all of those areas. Then they released it to the global. They got it Dragon Ball Global, and it was ported. It was kind of like a port over, so half the translations was done. But it was basically incorporated all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball superheroes, but not Dragon Ball Super, because at the time, Dragon Ball Super hadn't been made. But it engulfs the entire story, but it's also a free roaming world. But it wasn't really developed very well. I mean, if you played games like Final Fantasy XIV, Dragon Ball Online Global is kind of really super basic.
Yeah, actually, I remember that. I remember you could create your own little character, and you were like, I believe, in the time, the time community, like, you know, those little time cops were with the trunk thing.
The time patrol.
Yes, the time patrol thing, and that's what you were doing, and you could go back and fight a bunch of people I think.
Kind of, yes. I mean, you got involved in the time patrol stuff, which was Trunks, but then they made Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 more to do with the time patrol than the original Dragon Ball Online game. So basically, Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 is Dragon Ball Online, but perfected, but without the online world.
Yeah, I liked when I saw it, my friend play it a long time ago, and I was like, I want to play, and I never got to. So I was like, oh, this is really interesting to me. I don't know if y'all know this, but a long ass time ago, there was the Tony Hawk video games for like the PS2.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Apparently, they are bringing Switch.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
So I was like, oh no, I get to play Tony Hawk video games again and keep doing the kickflip.
Nice.
And
Let's hope it's better than the last couple ones that they did.
Games. Way back in the day, the Tony Hawk's games. Yes. I had the first one, the very first one that came out. It was crazy. With your turn top, your kick.
Yep.
In fact, the first one came out on PS1.
Oh yeah, it did actually. Yeah, I remember having the PS1. It's been so long ago.
Right.
It's been so long. 90 stuff.
I mean, yes, very 90s.
PS1 and PS2 were.
Sorry, I keep cutting off. I don't know if you remember the 90s soundtrack they had. They had Papa Roach and they had Linkin Park and various other, emo bands.
I was about to say all that good old emo music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And if I remember rightly, in what was it? Tony Hawk's 2, they actually had all American reject.
Oh man,
I
that is
remember
bringing
that.
up some memories.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm having a moment in my bedroom.
Right.
Little music thing going.
Are you feeling the nostalgia?
Yes.
Oh, let's be teenagers again.
Just went back in time for a moment.
Yeah.
Let's wear baggy jeans and rip one side of it and put like what are they called? Those those pins. What are they called? Safety pins in the side of your jeans.
Yep.
Or you could buy them at Hot Topic.
Oh yeah. Pre-ripped. Yep.
Yes, but you're paying for the.
Oh yeah, no, like
$100 pair of jeans and make them. You can buy a cheap pair of jeans and do it yourself.
Yes,
Exactly.
you can.
I had more character that way.
Being in school and ripping my pants with a pencil.
So on the next episode, we're going to teach you how to be an emo. Wow.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely. That will be great.
We'll tell you what music you need to listen to, and we'll show you how to make your own custom and emotes.
You'll finally be taught by a professional.
We definitely need to teach you how to go buy the right cups that you need to wear on your wrist.
And for cheap as well, by the way, because it has to be for cheap. Because none of these people ever spend top dollar.
Oh no, I remember going to the store and buying those cheap sweaty wristbands, those sweatbands, for $1 because those were the thing to wear. I probably have someone somewhere in my stuff, but I don't know where. Oh yeah.
Yes, I still have the cheap wristbands and all the MF rings that I ever wore.
I have a spiky wristband somewhere, like the ones that actually hurt you when you poke someone.
Yes, the one with the studs. Yeah. I used to have one. I don't know if I still have it, and it was real leather as well.
Mm. And not to mention the spiky belt that you need to do because
Of course, I had a black and red spiky belt. Of course,
because what says 90s like stabbing yourself.
basically, yeah. But I also had the black and red plaid shirt to go with, and I also dyed my hair black. I mean, I don't know if you can guess which of my combinations of colors was my most favorite.
Oh man.
I remember having one. It was a black base, and then it was black with blue splatters all over it for the belt. I remember those days, man. Oh my
So,
gosh.
you know, I think I know. I think I know the design. I think I've seen that. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I always
Yep.
like that.
I think I may still have it. I'll have to go back and look. I actually might have that thing sitting somewhere. If it's still even
Okay, so
in
I
one
have a
piece.
question. I have a question for everybody that was in that kind of genre of like phase. Did you have a skateboard?
No, but my brother had a skateboard and I stole it sometimes.
Yeah.
We had a half pipe in the
I had a
backyard.
skateboard. And I used to skate to work, and I could do a couple of tricks, but I couldn't do anything too fast.
See,
Oh, man.
Yeah. I didn't have a skateboard, but I had a bike, and there were a couple of tricks that I could do, but that was about it. I was
Did you have a BMX?
It was not an actual one, but I turned it into one. I had my ways of doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
That's pretty legendary. I had a BMX as
That thing was awesome, dude. I remember that bike so well.
Oh man, I remember.
I remember I used to go to this skate park for BMX, not skate park. It was a BMX park, and I didn't know the layout of the actual circuit, and I did this jump, and then when I looked down, I was like, "Oh shit!" It goes down, and I did a jump. But somehow I managed to land on the other peak. And I was like, oh, God. Oh, I would have broken my leg.
Oh, Lord.
Ow.
See,
Oh,
we ended up making our own stuff of that, kind of our own BMX trail. We had woods in our backyard, and it was a neighborhood complex, but they had a whole bunch of
Trail. That's
Well, yeah, we had a whole bunch
Yes.
of trails that we did too, but like we actually had some jumps set up and a couple of different thises and that's. It was some folks had taken 4-wheelers back there and had started it, so we just were like, hey, we're just gonna continue making it better. It was like the neighborhood hangout for the kids.
well, I think that's perfectly fine. Because, I mean,
Yep.
where kids have an outlet to express their, creativeness, at least they're not like, trying to rob cars or mug old ladies or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. And to a
Oh.
large degree, I don't think personally, I don't see a lot of that these days. Everything it's all online, and I'm not gonna say that you can't do that stuff online. I have a couple of games that I love that are my frustration outlets, but it's different when you do that stuff in video games versus when you go out and do something like that in real life.
What happened?
My opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think we might have lost Has-Been. What, were you
We-
just
we were
totally
talking
ignoring
about-
us,
I'm
Booker?
still here. I'm still.
Oh, there we go.
I was gonna say I had to run somewhere. Don't
Ah.
I'll explain later. What was the conversation? Sorry.
We're talking about 90s stuff and
Yeah.
skateboarding and what we did as kids apparently.
And Madness had asked
Yeah.
all of us if any of us had a skateboard when we were kids.
Yes.
There you go.
I was into
Good one.
rollerblading, paintballing, and going on the 4-wheeler.
See, I'm trying to envision that in my head all at
I
once,
did
and
like
that's a very
paintball.
interesting picture.
What? Me on a skateboard?
No, Sinnoh
I mean, I
riding.
liked paintballing, but I also liked laser tag.
Oh
I love
yes,
laser tag.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Laser tag.
I grew up on the other side of paintballers. I was a Milsim player. I did airsoft.
Oh,
Ooh.
I tried a little
I
bit of
will
that in
admit,
high
you
school.
guys
That
who do
was
paintball.
ooh.
I have to respect you Because every time you guys, where I live, you guys would start your games in paintball, you would screw with us in airsoft, and we would all hard charge each other. And it just looked weird, because it's like, guys, that's paintball. It's like, no, that's us. It's like, no, that's paintball. These dudes need to move. We were here for, and it was just a whole fun game. We actually had a game where paintballers and airsofters fought each other once. Yeah, paintballers won. I respect that because you can tell when you get hit. Can't miss it.
Oh yeah.
Bright pink paint right on your chest.
Oh, my brother and me used to paintball together. My stepbrother, I should say. And he used to freeze his paintballs. And
Ooh.
my safety gear for me, because we didn't buy any, was swimming pool goggles.
There you go. I mean, hey, it's something.
I took them off and put them on top of my head to talk to him, and he shot me right above my eye with a paintball.
Oh,
that's a headshot right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a wallop. It did not feel very good.
That's a headshot, man.
I was gonna say, we had a guy out here who did that, and when we had our fight, this is the day I learned to wear extra protection. For those of you who know, you know. Because I got shot there with a frozen paintball.
Oh,
To
nice.
my knees for about 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, let's continue the day.
See,
I tried
Oh.
to
my
soldier
my
it, but
worst
I cried
one.
when I got home.
My worst one was airsoft. This was in high school, and I got shot point blank with one of those like ridiculously high powered sniper rifle variants. Dude was like 6 feet from me, and he left a welt from that round on my upper chest. It was like right below my collarbone, and it was a mark for a full month. I was like, okay, motherfucker, I'm gonna get you next time.
I was gonna say, I'm about to go full airsoft nerd. Do you know if it was gas blowback or battery or both? Because you'll know the power of battery, it's not that hard. But gas blowback...
No, I think it was gas blowback. I think it was gas, because that...
He may have hard charged
was-
his gas line.
Yeah.
If you overcharge them by a little bit, they will screw you up. And
Yeah.
because I had a gas gun.
Because
There's pictures of it, but ooh, it hurts.
Yeah, no, that one, I will never forget that one. I'm like, okay. Yeah. That was one of those, like, him and he kind of had a thing against me to begin with, so I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised he pulled that stunt, but...
Yeah, no. When we get out of here, Metal, I'll tell you about the one I used to carry, and that I'm actually banned from, like, 8 tracks.
Oh, nice.
It was powerful, it was ridiculous, and I regret
Okay.
charging it as hard as I did.
Whoops.
Let's just say I took what was supposed to be a 65 PSI gas blowback to 110.
Ooh.
Oh
I
my
hard
god.
charged it to be an idiot. I was like, I wonder if this will explode in my hand. Didn't. It got me in a lot of trouble.
Owie.
I got in a lot of trouble with that thing.
Yeah,
I
you don't
used
say.
You know,
Jesus.
I've never gone paintball. Like, how was it like?
Wait, never?
No, honestly. I mean, I've always wanted to, really. Like, I've wanted to give it one try, but I never had the opportunity. My brother, he told me he once did, and he had so many marks on his back. It was unbelievable. But he got through it. That was when I just wanted to give it a shot.
Nice.
Well,
What is
it's
it?
pretty
What is it about?
fun when you have like a course and stuff, and you have obstacles, and you can hide behind them.
Yeah.
Those are the fun ones. When it's just like out in the field with all your friends and you're shooting each other or shoot each other, it's not as fun. You know.
And as long as you don't have people that are gonna do like things like what my buddy did to me, and then what Booker did to everybody else.
Oh, God.
No, nobody
I mean-
enjoys getting hit by that. Booker.
I'd want to do the field version of paintball just to get that Vietnam kind of vibe going.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Warfare. Some guerrilla warfare, you know?
Dude, there's a laser tag
Yeah.
joint that actually does have that kind of a setup. It's like an hour and a half from here, but I keep telling myself one of these days I'm gonna go out and try it.
Oh, shoot.
Somebody
drag
needs to go
Booker
buy
out
an
here.
old abandoned house and set up a paintball thing inside of it.
Yes.
That's what somebody needs to do.
Yes.
We need more of those pop up.
SWAT versus
pop-up
terrorists.
paintball
There you
things.
go. Clearing a house and all that. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend one time when we did paintball, and bless her, she was quite a curvy girl, not a big girl, just curvy, like big bum, big everything, right? And she tried to hide behind a tree, and her butt was sticking out one side, and her boobs were sticking out the other. I was like, oh my god, easy target. So I shot her butt, and then she went, oh, and then I shot forwards, but I missed her boobs. But I was aiming.
Nice.
Classic times. Oh.
Judging from Metal's story, depending on who you're with, paintball can get serious.
Yes. Yes.
And it will turn
Kind of
crazy.
And we had this. There was a couple of rules that we had, which was you got shot 3 times, you get off the field and clean yourself, go back on, or you could capture people. If you captured them, oh, blimey.
Uh-oh. I can only imagine how bad that goes.
The paintball kind of thing reminds me of a Smash room. I don't know if you guys know what those are.
Maybe.
They're kind of a venting, kind of rage thing kind of place where you can actually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You'll be put into this room with like just so much stuff, and I remember going. There was this one room that had windshields, and you could break them.
Oh
depending
my
on how
gosh.
much, depending on how much you pay, that will determine what you will destroy.
Yeah.
I think that sounds like one of those places in Japan where they release lots of stress. They let them into a room full of furniture, and they could choose a weapon of any sort and go in there and just smash the hell out of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, out
It
here
was
we've
really
got
fun.
axe throwing, so I've not gotten to go yet. I want to go, but
It's really fun. It really is.
Go where?
it looks like a lot of fun.
When we did it our first time, they were oh. Did she just leave?
No. Oh,
Her thing like cuts
I
in and
say
out.
yeah. Cinna's
Okay.
internet sometimes breaks. She'll be back.
But
There we
anyways,
go.
I remember the first time we went with me and my family, it was they recorded it, like, there's a camera in there, so they recorded it. Unfortunately, they
Yeah.
couldn't find the tape. Either that or they lost
Oh.
it. Somehow they lost the tape. They said that they were going to give it to us by a week, but sadly we couldn't see ourselves.
Oh.
It's always fun to see yourself getting hurt because then you can go back. You can laugh at it. Ha! I did that.
It's like, I look like an absolute dork in that outfit.
Yep.
Totally.
See, whenever you look at your past self, you can just laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
And then ask yourself, was I really them?
Because I can remember the first time when I tried a skateboard. I was doomed in failure.
Oh god.
So I
Always.
was like, yeah, this looks like fun. And then I got on it and I was like, oh, I don't know how this thing works. Hit a curb. I landed in grass,
Oh.
thank God. Thank God there was grass. Even though, where I live, it should have been dirt. But,
There were dirt and rocks.
grass.
Yeah.
Stick.
Had grass. And I still kind of do have grass. So I was like, yes, there's grass. Now how does this work again? And I would just keep trying it. And eventually I just got fed up with it. I was like, I don't know how this works. I don't know how people do it. I just put it away. I'll figure it out someday. Never did.
Damn.
I can respect people who skateboard. 'Cause that's
Oh yeah.
I rarely skateboard. And skateboarded it like in the past because I remember I had a bike and a skateboard in my grandparents' garage, and
Mhm.
it'd be pretty fun when I did do it. And the neighborhood was really nice. So
I actually grew up on those cool little gas-powered mini bikes.
oh yeah.
I had one of those, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, speaking of little tiny things with motors,
Yeah, those little,
We-
little mini bikes.
we had a little scooter, it's not even a scooter. It had a little tiny thing, the little thin razor scooters.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, those things, the little trick scooters and stuff
I
like
remember those
Oh.
too.
I had
Oh.
those.
that. My sister and me had one. We had one to share, and
Oh dear.
she would drive it because she liked it and I didn't. But we would put a rope on it, and I would be on my rollerblade
Nice.
shooting behind it, which is very dangerous, by the way. And I don't recommend anyone doing that because we did go up a hill, stupidly go up a hill, and then decided to tumble down the hill all the way down and bust a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement. We are professional dumb. Don't do what we do.
Yes, we're special. Let me up again.
Things.
That just reminded me of that one show called Jackass. I don't know if you all know.
Oh,
Yes, I remember.
Oh
I
yeah.
grew up with that, dude. I love it.
Man.
My friends used to do
Johnny
those
Knoxville
kinds of
is
things.
welcome to Checkers.
Yeah.
See, me and Booker are part of a group, and we literally call ourselves the Dysfunctional Geniuses, simply because we do exactly this level of dumb, and it still usually works out pretty well.
I was gonna say, you have to be a little bit more specific. It's on American Truck Sim where the dysfunctional geniuses, because
Yeah.
people that go full throttle down the freeway with a heavy load and just go, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I'll just
Or
hit
in,
F7 and call the emergency guys to come and save me, and I'll do the same thing 2 seconds later.
or in your case, you'll run into me and suddenly turn your truck into a spaceship.
We're not gonna talk about that. Okay? We're just not gonna talk about that.
Oh my
Physics is
god.
everything in games, right?
We both signed up for the public beta, right? And
We didn't
so
sign up.
well,
We
no, but you
installed
have to. But that's something it's the same thing. You have to volunteer
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
You're right.
So we were both running a convoy together, and this man, we were both going up through a highway section that comes down to a one laner, and you have a
10 freeway.
yeah, okay, 10, yeah,
10 cross to the 40.
yeah,
We're coming out
and
of Nevada.
And so, it comes down to one lane because they had a road construction detour there. So this man runs into me running about 90 mile an hour every bit. And of course, I have nowhere to go. I'm getting ready to hit cars anyways. And next thing I know, my trailer glitches out. It's around the side of me. It's like, how did that jackknife? Oh, where did Booker?
I'm
Where?
on the other side of the freeway across 2 other lanes.
No, before that, before you came back down, I saw you go up into the stratosphere and come back down. Yes, I did for a split second. It was very rapid. It was very rapid. You glitched out hard. And you just went stratosphere and ground.
It feels like with that public beta now, because it has no physics. So you run into the smallest thing, and either you're gonna catapult it like a NASA rocket, or you're gonna catapult yourself.
Oh my gosh.
It's fun. I don't
Yeah, American
truck
truck
though, because that may make you scared.
Well, and the worst part is I actually was a truck driver for a number of years. I'm taking a little bit of a break for a physical injury, but it's minus the minor physics breaking in the beta. It's actually really good because they actually have done a lot for the physics, for the realism of it, the way they do the parking, the different areas and everything. It's really well done. So that's one I got Booker turned on to.
Well, I was gonna say, you and I both worked with heavy equipment like that.
Yeah.
You drove it, I operated it, and pulled
You
it out.
rescued it, yeah.
Yeah, and it was mainly. I don't want to throw names out there, but it starts with an S, and it's someone's last name, so we're not gonna name names here. Had to rescue them a lot, but yeah, no. The game really is. I will piggyback off of what you said. It really is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of realism to it.
It sounds
And
about
even-
right.
And even most of the community. Now, I preface that to say most of the workshop community. I haven't really. I've messed with some guys on Truckers MP, and most of them are pretty cool. You get a couple of them that are not so much, but the mods that are made through the Steam Workshop for this game are 90+% of the time they're awesome. A couple of them are game breaking, but some of that is mod conflict. Some of that is just not being updated recently, but a lot of them are really cool.
I was gonna say, a side note, you can't really say it's game breaking, unlike the invisible glitch mobile from SnowRunner. But that's
Oh yeah, we're not. Yeah, yeah.
That'll be for
The
another
invisible
story.
boatmobile on SnowRunner is even worse. Of course,
Also,
I
that
can't say
story
too much. The
stream.
26 door Monster Max would break me from 100 feet away. So
You
the
know,
thing
actually,
is
I
just.
believe they removed that.
Did they
Out of
really?
the game. Yeah, I think they took it out of the
Oh
game.
my
Removed it from the
gosh!
game.
Wow.
It's
Well,
bad.
like, I remember because Matt brought it into the game on PS4 once when the mods first dropped for PS4
Yep,
for
I
console,
remember.
and he would come down the street about 100 feet away from me, and this thing is just doing this wobble back and forth, and it's taking up like 80 feet either direction.
Well,
And
is it-
before he even gets to me, suddenly I'm up in the air, like, where am? Oh, great!
well,
This is
no,
gonna hurt.
If they know death wobble from like
Yes,
the death wobble,
yes.
that's pretty much what it would do when you drove it down the road. It would get death wobble, and it would just
Yeah.
go every which direction, and you wouldn't control it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm screwed.
I hate to be the moderator for a moment, but I am being pinged that we need to get back on topic. So going from
Sorry.
the 90s and everything,
Yeah,
no,
same.
I'm with you on that because I'm guilty.
We totally forgot.
I was about to say that was Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Well, and
I was gonna
actually
say,
I had
quote, unquote,
a
my fault. I'm ADHD and ADD, so when we talk about something specific, it's just
squirrel. Well, and on that note, I have a perfect segue for that. There is a game that was announced at E3, and it is called Skatebird. It is yeah, the headliner for Skatebird's Tiny Tony Hawks, pun time, is going to be dropping in August. So I'm looking it over a little bit. I'm on PC Gamer's website doing a little bit of some note taking, and it looks pretty interesting. The initial graphics for the splash screen look pretty cool. It's cartoony,
little
but
bit of
not
gameplay
overly
at it.
done.
I was saying, when I watched the live streams for E3, I saw a little bit of play of it, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it is ridiculous fun.
I'm gonna
I
have to
haven't
check
I
that.
haven't seen it. I need to watch that one. I have not seen that
I'll
one.
ping it to you. Hang
It
on.
had me rolling for a while because it was funny.
You said it's called Skatebird?
Yeah,
Skatebird.
and it looks pretty decent. I'll go ahead and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. Let me flip back over to
Oh,
that.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bird. It really is a bird.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cute.
I'm
Like,
gonna have
hey,
to check that out.
If you like Tony Hawk but you don't want to get the Tony Hawk game, you can get Tony Hawk's little brother.
Get
Aw.
the skated bird.
Yeah.
You know, half the people are just gonna buy that just for burb.
Right.
Just be
For the
like,
bird.
just for the burb.
I could see my better half getting this game just for the bird. It looks. She would say it looks cute.
I'd print out a
Right.
poster of it and put it on
Just
my
some
wall.
nice bird
Just
action.
point at it. And
Burb. Oh, did y'all see the Xbox Avowed game at all? Yes, it's their new game. It's kind of like Skyrim-ish kind of type game.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that.
I am excited. I want to play it. It looks pretty cool. I saw the magic that they did on it. I was like, oh, I want that. I want
Yeah, you
that.
gotta love some good looking magic.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be on my bucket list since you say Xbox.
Yeah,
See-
I was like, that's one of the games I need to get.
I was gonna say, Metal, you and I should probably do an honorable mention of one of our good friends' games that he's probably gonna get, Mitch.
Oh yeah.
Battlefield 2042.
Oh
yeah.
I know he wanted. I'm pretty sure he would want that to be a mention just because of the
Yeah,
the
that is
one
true.
sequence. It looks cool. I used to be an avid Battlefield kid. I loved it.
Yeah.
I will say, this one does not pique my interest at all whatsoever.
I'm sorry. For me, Battlefield would have to be Bad Company 2. That is what I
Thank
remember.
you.
That was the original for me.
Fun.
And before
Yeah,
anybody
I
says
want them
don't
to
like
do
Call of
I want
Duty,
them to do a Battlefield Toy Story. You know, with all the Toy Story.
yes, yes,
That would be cool.
that would be awesome.
Oh my
I know that
god.
with now, Metal, you're gonna hate me for this, but do you want to know which is the longest Battlefield game that has lasted?
I think
I would
Battlefield
know.
4, isn't it? Battlefield 5?
Bad Company 2.
Oh, is
They
it?
still
Seriously?
to this day have active servers. The problem is
No.
most of the servers are heavily modded, and you will
Yeah.
be in like less than an hour.
See,
And it's weird, but it's still fun because it still has that aspect of Battlefield, but the ridiculousness of a bunch of modders. And I can love it because it's like, that's Battlefield. That's what it is.
See, I never really got into the multiplayer. I enjoyed story mode for that one.
Yeah.
It was a really good story, and the
Fun
physics
time.
were awesome. I loved actually being able to destroy the buildings.
You remember in Bad Company, the Sweetwater scene where they actually talked crap on Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah.
That will always forever live in my brain.
Yo.
I love it.
Well, and on that note, I loved from Call of Duty, the only real series that I liked out of them, I'm sorry, I'm going to take some flack for this, but Modern Warfare series was honestly my favorite out of the whole thing. And for me, none of the other Call of Duty games really have done it. I will say that Cold War is interesting, but it just doesn't hit the same.
The 2019 Modern Warfare, it's cool. You obviously know. You've known me for a while. I played the heck out of it because of a buddy of mine. He got it for me. It was fun, but it didn't bring the aspect of the original story of how some of these groups were made. Like, for those of you who do know the Call of Duty series, like Task Force 141, it didn't get the visualization of how they came to be, because the way it sequenced out was Price's original team, I guess, to when the game ends, that's when all the other guys come in. Just made no sense, because they were originally selected before all of the missions that you go into in Modern Warfare. So it's kind of backwards, and I didn't get it.
Not only that, too, but the way that when they remastered Modern Warfare for 2019,
Modern Warfare 4.
But here's the thing, they changed some of the stuff in there, as I seem to recall.
Yeah.
Some of the things that were in there before were taken out. And for me, remakes never hit as hard as the original.
Like, if you played the game, they didn't reference Al-Assad, like COD 4, at all. It's like he didn't exist. But they referenced a missile crisis in the Middle East.
Yeah.
But they didn't say Al-Assad. It was like, well, that's the whole idea of who was behind it with the Russians.
It ties it all together.
Russians,
yeah.
But you said it was someone completely different. It's like, okay, well, that's backwards. And they didn't even reference the the War Pig guys, the guys who were the Marines.
Yes.
Going into the Middle East. They didn't mention that at all. So I was like, where's your story going? And then you go into Cold War, and then it references Nikolai and Raskovich and Al-Assad. It's like, well, Al-Assad wasn't the Cold War. He was...
No, he was after. War. Yeah. He was Desert Storm, Desert Shield type time.
Yeah, the historical storyline in Cold War somewhat confuses me.
That's one of the things that drew me away from it. Like, I like the gameplay of it, but, I mean, my biggest thing is when you do a storyline like that, and I hate to keep going off topic on this one, but Michael Bay did the same thing with the Transformers franchise. You look at the first 3.5, almost the first 4 movies, and he stayed on the story arc pretty well. And then the 5th movie, it just went kind of kaboom. And it's like suddenly everything that he had said up until there had been totally not the case. It's like, dude, you just destroyed your own story plot. Like,
I like that you mentioned Michael Bay and kaboom.
Yes, I will give him credit for what he does good.
It's only a matter of time until he mentions something Transformers 2 as well.
That's great about me is that we can find these weird rabbit holes to just get ourselves. I do apologize because I think me and him are both ADHD. We're just like,
and you know what? On that note, segue time. It didn't get mentioned at E3, but I have it on good authority that there is going to be a really good Transformers game. It's going to be Transformers Heavy Metal, and it's supposed to be coming hopefully the end of this year. Let me double check. Hang on. No, it's Transformers Heavy Metal. I've got the website up right now. It is transformersheavymetal.com. It is not out in production yet, but they are working towards it, and I personally am very excited for it. It is supposed to be made mostly by Niantic. So, yes, everybody, Ingress and Harry Potter and Pokemon Go. It's supposed to be something like this, but you're basically going to be battling alongside the Autobots. Now, there's been talk if they're going to have the Decepticons join in, where you actually can have player versus player type of stuff. I think that would be great, but
I think
we're going to see where that goes. Yeah, I think it's going to be a developed thing in the eventual future, hopefully. But there's been a lot of chatter about it, and I, for one, am super excited to see that come out. So
I was going to say, going back to the Battlefield thing. One thing that confused
just before we hit that, I would be a Decepticon.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Decepticons are better than the stupid Autobots.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I would be a combination of Megatron and Starscream. Oh, baby.
Ooh.
See, I've got my
Metal already knows
OC
what I'm
and my
thinking.
my. Well, the best part for this is with my mascot. Some of you guys know this, some of you not yet, but
I do.
this is actually part of a bigger project I'm working towards for my OC that I've got for the actual Metal Shadow Transformer, and it is still long in the works, but ideally it's a human target master paired with an Autobot, and I'm gonna see if things go well. Maybe I can actually do a little bit more with that. It's just money and creations and all
And
of
time.
that. Yeah, it's
Time.
a process. This is not just a hey, do it overnight yesterday kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Well, I suppose technically with my character, because he's a tech demon, I'm already like in some kind of like transforming entity.
Okay.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's already a mini disc for a head.
I have to say, I do love your mascot because it's really cool looking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Though we don't have it up on our thing right now, we will soon.
Future.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the future.
Senna is our.
I figured that I would choose the most 90s thing that I would think of that would be the most 90s thing that would be forgotten.
Cassette
Nice.
player?
Yeah.
An old Walkman, yes.
Yeah, Walkman. I couldn't remember its name for the life of me.
I
Not
remember
even
having.
that, not even that. It's the mini disc Walkman. The one that
Oh.
had like little square CDs, square
Yeah.
CDs in a square box, and
Yeah.
but acts like a Walkman.
It was kind of like the PSP back in the day
Yeah.
for the discs. Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
Relevant for
remember
about
those.
6 months until something like MP3 came along and pooped all
Yep.
over.
Oh, I remember. Okay, so this was in a lot of girl magazines, and they really wanted lots of girls to pick this up. It was these little tiny micro mini one song hit playthings. Like it wasn't even little MP3 players. It was just the
Oh my
this
gosh, I
little
know the one you're
tiny-
talking about. It plugs into the headphone jack and you can record music off the radio. I remember those.
little tiny ones, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's so cute. Don't you want to listen to this one ass song on this thing? No.
About the size of your thumb, wasn't it?
Huh?
I think it was about the size of your thumb.
Yeah,
Or a little
it
bit
was
bigger,
about
yeah.
the size of someone's thumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
super
remember
tiny.
those. Yeah.
They were small.
Yeah.
A cousin of mine that I haven't spoken to in a while, they had one when they were a kid.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
They broke it,
Oh.
but they
Ooh.
loved it to
Oops.
death, and they had to buy another one. And I was like, that thing is the size of my thumb. I would break it. And surely enough, a week later, they came up to me. I have another one.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah. Those things were so freaking
I
tiny,
will admit, they
Yo.
were cool. They
and
were
you could break them so easily. It's like no.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
cheap plastic, man.
I still have a mini disc player.
Do you really?
Nice.
Yes, and it still works.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
That's impressive.
That just goes to show you take care of your stuff. I mean, it'll take care of you in the long run.
Oh, if you want to talk about old school things that still work, I have a brick Game Boy, an actual gray brick Game Boy with the actual sticker back warning labels and everything. You can
Nice.
still sort of
That's pretty
read them.
badass. That's pretty
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from myself, the oldest things that still work. The only other thing I have is a Genesis.
Nice. You have an
Oh,
actual
I-
Genesis.
I have
Nice.
a Genesis somewhere in my parents' attic somewhere, along with my what was it, Super Nintendo.
It's one of my most prized possessions. I get it out every now and then when my friends come over from school that I knew 15 years ago, and we whip out the Mega Drive or the Genesis, and we play some
Nice.
old school games, and we're like, oh, this is we were 15 again.
Aw, that's great.
I learned what the Super Nintendo Second Genesis was through Biggie, one of his lines in one of his songs.
Nice.
My stepbrother, my parents are moving, so that they had got all that stuff out of the attic, and I come over, and there's these huge uh box of Sega Genesis video games. I mean, like there's like 20, 30 games here,
Oh wow.
and they're taking pictures of it
wow.
to sell it on
Oh,
the marketplace. And I'm
Oh
like,
no 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 no
what?
no no no.
Wait, no. What are you doing with those? It's like, we're selling them. I'm like, you're not selling them on the marketplace, right? They're for like
No.
$1 each. I'm like, oh,
Nope.
give 'em.
Yep.
No, Genesis games, they have a high value.
Yes.
I was like, no, give
Especially
them, please.
rare games like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
Gunstar Heroes, Dynamite Heady, you know.
Sonic 2.
I'd imagine there's people that would pay hundreds for those, actually. Thousands.
Some
maybe.
of them, yeah.
I have a picture of it somewhere, so hold on, let me find it and see if I can find it, and I will show it all to you. And it was just great. I was like, wait, what are you gonna do with that? I have to take a picture before I cry.
Right? Yeah.
Cry and you selling these things.
I had, way back in the day, I had an original Master System with the wood trim, and a guy offered me 1,500 for it because I kept it in good condition. I was like, dude, take it off my hand.
Oh my gosh.
that's good.
See, I've got a PS2 sitting here. We recently did an upgrade on the TV here in the basement, and I discovered now, since things, I used to have a 55-inch Vizio, now it's a 75-inch Hisense. This thing will actually do real 4K for the PS2. Because I was having major issues with it on the Vizio. I don't know why, because both of them are 4K, but it would have the real bad graininess, and there was nothing I could do to get rid of it. So now I could hook up the PS2 and just go to town on any of my old classic games that I love, Ace Combat, or, you know, have some fun.
Makes me
Yes.
wanna get one now.
Dude, I will link it to you.
Oh,
Yes.
Like, actually, Metal, I think you and I
Hey,
can Zero Horizon
with games in standards and classics and stuff, they do like remakes of games all the time. I'm still waiting for them to do a remake of Space Harry.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
That would be cool to see.
Yes.
I would like to see that.
That would be a good one.
That would be beyond cool. I think that would be
Yes.
beyond cool.
But Metal, I think you and I can agree the worst Ace.
And then my childhood would be complete.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Although the oldest console I ever had, Atari 2600.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, you had one of the. Oh my gosh.
I think my grandma.
Yeah, I had the
still has
original
it.
Mario Brothers. I had the original Pong, Centipede, Space Invaders.
Oh my gosh. Nice.
Space Invaders. Oh, my God.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I preferred Centipede over Space Invaders.
Yeah. Fair
Uh,
enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Dope. Yeah. No, Booker. I can do on the big screen.
I think
I-
you told me you can do a lot on that thing.
I think I showed you that one
Yeah, you called me on Facebook.
Yeah.
and, like,
because you
it was
didn't
like
want to
11
believe me.
o'clock at night.
Yeah. Because I
It
had
was
the
so
Transformers
late. I was like,
Armada
what
PS2 game, and you were like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That, my friend, is 4K PlayStation 2 gaming."
Well, that's because I haven't seen that in such a long. Like, I played it a couple times with a good friend of mine who I
Yes.
do not talk to anymore. I've lost contact with him.
I tell you what, I'd like to see. I'd like to see 4K Mega Drive Genesis Streets of Rage.
Oh, you probably could do that. Because most of those still run off component cable. Yes, I was trying to think of what. Yeah, you could do that on. I'll link it to you if I can find the link for that one. I'll link it to you, Madness. Because
That would be amazing.
dude, you have no idea.
You know, he went balls to the wall when he found that out. It was great.
Well, and the ironic thing, I'm usually the one that will do like the electronics, looking around and stuff like that, and find like the weird sales on stuff like this. This one, it wasn't me. It was my better half. It was like, hey, you know, your TV is going out. I'm like, yeah. because every now and then it'll have this weird issue with the LCD display. And she's like, so what if we got an upgrade? And I'm like, where are you going with this? Like, I was genuinely like, I don't know what she's talking about here, but I'm kind of curious. And then she's like, well, there's this one on sale. I'm like, okay, keep talking. It's a 4K 75-inch Hisense, and it was supposed to be like, what was it, honey? It was supposed to be, it was over 1,000, I remember, but I don't remember what was it like 1,200 or something like that?
Usually those are like
Something like that,
1,500.
yeah. Something like that, and it was on sale for like 800 on the nose. Brand new, sealed box, everything. And I'm like, honey, you should not have said that, because there's an absolute resounding hell yes, we're getting this. When can I go pick it up? And then that turned into, as soon as her parents found out we were doing it, they're like, well, hey, can you guys go ahead and pick one up for us? We'll pay for it. Okay. So we had to deal with, it was a mess. It was a mess, but we made it work. We live,
because I know what you drive.
well, no. We didn't
even
do it in my car. That's the thing. We had to use Greg's Jeep. We strapped this thing on the roof sideways. It was a sight going down the road, man. We live about 2 or 3 blocks over. We live about 3 blocks over. Well, no, the kicker was, after we got it home, right as I parked the Jeep in the driveway and got out, it started raining. So I'm scrambling to unstrap it and untie it, and I'm trying to get it off the road. Yeah.
Dude, you went full Florida, man.
It was glorious. It was glorious, though.
No, I'll tell you a different story later, but you remember my truck.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
When we did the hardwood floors in my house, I have a funny story for that. It's not related to games, but I will tell it to you later if y'all want to know it, probably after stream, because it's just the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, no, he's more the tech guy of our group. I'm usually the main car guy and like knowledge guy to go to about price gouging and things like that for cars. I've been around it for so long. I've been around the automotive scene for so long, just in silence, that I've known just too much about the automotive world. So it's like, how much would I have to pay for this? It's like, well, let's sit down. Let's see what you want. And it's like, oh god, get ready for a 2-hour novel.
Right.
And I've actually done that with someone before. Someone asked me about a specific car, and I was like, well, you can pay $68,000 for this, or buy it broken for less than such and such cash, and then build it up. And he's like, I might do that.
Well,
or you can do this, or this, or this, or this. And he was just like, whoa, wait a minute.
I have some good news for you guys. These things have continued to drop in price since I'd bought one. So, there you go. I just put it in the chat for you guys. Definitely, I would absolutely recommend this TV to you guys. If I were to turn my phone on, and actually, I'm not one to do the whole, Google Assistant, voice commands and all that, but I will say that I actually can do it with this TV, and it's actually really, really nice. I can sit there and say TV off, and it will just turn the TV off. I can change the inputs. I actually put in a series of custom input names for each of the inputs, and it actually has picked up enough of it that it knows when I say, input ABC, it's like, oh, that one. And
I might get one just to hook it up to this one that I have.
I would
use it as the second screen.
I would.
The problem is that you've seen how this room is designed.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd. So I would have to angle it at a weird spot just to be
Oh,
able to
no. I would tell you put it on a wall mount. We
that's
got
what
one.
I'm
I
saying.
paid,
Like,
I
have to
think
mount it on the wall weirdly.
I paid, I think, $40 or $50 for this one wall mount set. It's the one from Walmart. It's the heavy duty one that's like up to 100-inch screens. The anchors that I put in are like 9 inches long and about 3 inches wide to put it into the actual wood beams. I cannot drywall mount this thing. It's ridiculous. But then it actually has enough play with the adjustment. I can actually pull it out from the wall and stand behind my TV entirely. Even with my big head.
Yeah, I wish I had something like that, but I'll do that when I move. When I get out of here, I will probably do a bigger thing.
There we go. So TV DIY with the Booker and the metal.
Right. That's where it's
What else have we got that's happened that came out of E3?
Yes.
Man, E3 went tech wild. Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna say this for one of the Switch games. I'm pretty sure it's Switch that's coming to E3 is Slime Rancher. I'm not sure if it's Switch or another.
Oh, yeah.
Slime Rancher 2.
Yeah,
wanna
Slime
play.
Rancher 2.
Slime Rancher 2.
Yeah.
I know that it's also got it's coming to PC as well. I would assume Switch is probably likely. I'm having to switch over onto my notes here. There we go. It actually doesn't say outside of PC. Okay, fine. Thank you, PC Gamer. Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what they did with GTA 5. They're like, oh, it's gonna be console only. Then like 3 years later, it's like, oh, we're putting it on PC. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we kind of figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they do that, don't they? It's like it was like Final Fantasy 15. They were like, no, it's going to be console only, and then like
Yeah.
2 years later, yeah, we put it on PC.
Yeah.
Same as Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5. They were like, oh, there's going to be no DLC. There will be no DLC, and then 2 years later, DLC.
I know they did
Merge
that.
with DLC.
Oh,
You know, it's like there's going to be no DLC, and then they're like, fuck it, we're going to put Virgil in the game.
one of the biggest things that people were like the biggest game thing was Fallout 76.
Oh. Okay.
We're not going to have human NPCs. We're not. Just not. We're not giving you them. Guess what? A year later, human NPCs.
Yeah.
Because it was so boring. It was just so boring to do without them. And then everybody's like, well, I want my human NPCs. I'm sorry. And they're like, oh, well, we planned this all along to give you human NPCs. We were just waiting.
I like the idea that they were trying to go for with everybody plays a part in the game and that it's all players only, which is it's an interesting idea, but you've got to still be able to make it work.
The thing is, the players only died. Nobody wanted to play anymore because the
Yeah.
story it just wasn't Fallout. Because
Yeah.
all you got was these stupid little pieces of paper that was once part of the human story, and it's just like, no, we want the human interactions. That's the part we
Yeah.
liked.
Yeah.
You know, talking to the humans and saving them from the dangers and stuff. And that was the biggest thing. You know, nobody wants to play with the other online players because all they want to do is kill you, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah. It's no fun. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, the problem with online
I miss the
games
days of
is where
Fallout.
people have the ability to hurt each other is that nobody wants to work together. All they want to do is these 12-year-old kids want to get on and go,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way.
and shoot you, and they want to shoot you with the highest power weapon that they could have got. You
Yeah.
know, because they've been playing the game for 15 hours straight with no breakfast and no dinner, and then like, I'm gonna be the epic. I'm gonna be the best in everything. Yeah.
And
I'm
Booker-
gonna be the epic.
Booker can confirm this. This is what drove me and him and a large number of our group away from GTA
I mean,
on
that's what
console.
happened with GTA 5, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Not just that, it was the oppressor spam. For those of you who do play GTA,
That's-
it was the oppressor spam.
Yeah, that
Anything
too.
in the game
Yeah.
without one of those
You
things,
see,
zoom it up and
I
just-
have a counter. See, I
Oh.
have a counter to GTA 5 because, after all, I am the king of hell. So I own everything. I literally have $18 billion in that game, right? And so I own everything that you can buy, and I still have loads of money spare. Hero, I will buy you a yacht. And when people grief me, they shoot me and they with their bloody flying motorcycle. I'm like, okay. Well, the game is set. So I'll go to my facility, and I will find them, and I will fire a space laser at them, and then they're like,
Oh, the hammer of God.
So, and then when they resurrect, I go to my console, and I'm like, Tier 1 SWAT team. Tier 1 SWAT team goes after it. They manage to escape. So I'm like, okay, Tier 2 SWAT team. And they're like, oh, but it kills them. They come back and I'm like, Tier 3 SWAT team. The CIA. The CIA.
Nice.
They don't stop fight. They don't stop hunting you until you're dead. And then
Yep.
you leave the server, and I'm like, job is done. Don't thank me.
Oh my gosh.
Whenever we had oppressor spam, I would use the oldest piece of equipment in the game.
Yep.
I would run to the Hind, the Me-24,
Yep.
the Russian Hind, and I would just attack them with that thing, and then they would cry about it. It's like, what, you're sad that my Russian bathtub is outmaneuvering your weird, futuristic alien motorcycle? Come on, it's supposed to be like the pinnacle of advancements. I'm in a bathtub.
Well, and I remember too when the
Like,
first
no.
stealth chopper came out, and people would
yeah, cool.
spam that. Yeah. Well, no. What I found out early on was you go to your facility. You don't get on the you don't get on the Rod from God station. You go to the console, and you can use the free team that you can get on, and you can literally sit there and spectate them wherever they go, and then you can call out their position to your friends.
You can
Yeah.
visualize them from the satellite. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
you
that.
can. Well, not even from the satellite. You can sit there and watch them as a spectator. Like it overrides the
Yeah.
spectator settings for most of them. Sometimes you
Yeah.
would get that issue, but then you can just hit the pause menu and say, "Oh, hey guys, they're at this location."
And then you
I
just
had
have,
one
like,
guy
eight
that was-
people go and get 'em.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
this one
shit.
guy, he would take the chopper and he would go sit in this one little spot, and it's just like, okay, you really probably shouldn't have been able to get in there. It was a cave up in the northeast corner of the map. You know where I'm talking, right, Booker?
Mount Chiliad. I remember.
Further northwest, but yeah, or northeast, but yeah, the one on the water. And he would sit there in the chopper in that little hidey hole, and I'm like, dude, and I would tell him, I was like, you know, I can see where you're at. And he's like, no, you can't. I'm stealth. I'm like, keep believing that, kid.
Oh.
I'd send my friends. This was before I met you guys. I'd send a whole bunch of my friends down there, and they would just come right into the hole and just blow him out of the water. And he's like, how'd you find me? And I'm like, I tried to warn you.
Satellite.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be a dick, way back in the day, I used to do this other thing where, after doing all those other things with the Sky Laser and the SWAT
Yep.
teams, that I would probably just send a mugger after him, and then just be like, "Come on, man, leave me alone,
Yep.
leave me alone." And then they'd get on their motorcycle, and I'd already be in a Sky Fortress, and I'd be like, "Right, let's find them." And I'd have 3 other people with me, and then we'd just blast the shit up.
Yes.
No, madness. I don't know if you were there for the original days of GTA, the very beginning of it.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's
the,
been around for 80 million years,
2000s.
so I would think, yeah.
But what me and a couple
4.5 billion years.
Ah, my
Close.
apologies. My apologies.
you know,
Oh
I
no,
was
it's fine, it's fine. I look younger than I actually am.
You do.
Indeed, you do.
You look good. But I wasn't around for the original days of GTA, and what we would do is because the mugger was broken in GTA, we would all call a mugger simultaneously. Usually be a guy in a
Oh.
rhino.
I
And the
know
mugger
this
would
one.
take
I
it
know
out of
this
the
one.
rhino, and the
I know
mugger would
this
steal the
one.
rhino. So the
I
mugger
know this one because
would
we
take it
did this once before. We did this
Yeah.
once before, and all of us, called a mugger at the same time, and the muggers ended up mugging each other.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite part is that the mugger that would steal from the dude would take his car and then just screw off in another direction of the map. And he would just go away. It's like, well, he lost that. It was so fun. It's just like, I don't know, it would do that, and then you just keep doing it.
The thing with that game is it's so broken. The programming in that game is still broken, and they're like, we're not even going to fix it because it's funny.
Yeah, I have to admit to that. It's broken, but I can kind of get away with being it broken, because it's kind of fun. But after a while, it's
I just want to know if they make GTA 6, what are they going to do? Because every GTA game they make is based on a time period. Whereas GTA 5 is still kind of relevant to our current time. When they make GTA 6, are they going to make it like Cyberpunk?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Ooh, okay, that's an idea right there.
Where do I sign up?
Hot idea right there. Hey.
Perfect.
Hey.
It would be the
Where do I
perfect
sign up?
competition.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Would that include the poor optimization?
I was
that's
drinking water.
Well, of course. I mean, it's GTA.
I
Oh.
just spit water when you said that, brother.
Oh my gosh. That would
Honestly,
be wild.
with GTA, I think I
Absolutely
really like the older ones better. My favorite one was GTA Vice City. You know, all the others are cool, but Vice City to me sticks out the most.
Well, see, Vice City always has a place in my heart for the 80s music because I
Yes.
love the
Yeah.
electro 80s, you know, synthwave. Wow, yeah, I love
You guys,
Yeah.
you guys know
I
the
love
song
the
called
aesthetic.
Self Control?
Hmm?
Do you guys know the song called Self Control?
I
I mean, you
think,
can't
yeah.
beat Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, no, to the Battlefield thing, like I said, I couldn't connect with it because the moment I saw the tornado in a combat zone, I was like, nobody's gonna rush there into battle with a tornado swirling itself around because you gotta worry about debris field, getting smacked in the face with the debris. You really gotta worry about that. So from a combat aspect, no. I'll stay in a ditch. I will marine my rear into a ditch and just sit there. I'm not going in. I'll sleep in a ditch. You'll catch me there. But it's a cool game. I will give it that. It's got cool aspects.
So, do you guys know about Final Fantasy VII Integrate?
Yes.
I've heard of it. Don't know anything about it.
It's basically a sub game. How Final Fantasy works, they make these like sub games, like Crisis Core and things like that. And Integrate is basically a sub game of the remake that they're doing, because obviously they're doing part 2, they're doing part 3, they're doing part 4, and etc. But Integrate is kind of like a side story to do with the same, but it has all the main characters in it as well. So all the main characters, all the main casts. And you know, a few extra characters as well in there, and it's really interesting. It's really
That sounds cool.
and I can't remember, but I think it's going on to like Switch and you know, like the consoles that are not the high end ones, but like the side ones. You know, the ones that you can port them over.
Sounds cool. I might get it. I'll look into it.
Yeah. Actually, a friend of mine is a voice for one of the main bad guys, Weiss, Damon Mills.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
actually didn't know that.
I'm looking at the E3 actual games, like every single game right now. I'm just like, man, there's so many.
Yeah. I'm most excited for SMT5 personally.
I've kind of been waiting to drop this one to see if anybody else has been excited for it or not, but I am a bit of a Borderlands nut, and I've had every single game from day one, and I'm excited as all get out. Tiny Tina is back, everybody. She is going to be doing it's going to be a standalone game this time. It's going to be Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And I, for one, I remember how it was with the with the original DLC from B-Lands 2. This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for this to drop.
What was your opinion of the Telltale Tales?
Tales from the Borderlands was interesting. For me, it was just different. Yeah, it was a different way of looking at it. For me, I'm just not that big of the whole side scroller storyline that they did. But that's just that whole type of game. It's just not my cup of tea, personally.
No, I totally understand. I mean, I really got like a good grasp from the movie sort of like, you know, story based aspect that they gave, but it was like, where's the gameplay?
Yeah, exactly. Like I like it from the lore side. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, it's definitely good for that. But I mean, what they should have done, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's great the way they did it, but it would have worked just as well if it had just been a movie.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if any of y'all know about this or not. I've been hearing a lot in the background chatter about this, that there is a Borderlands movie in the works, and there's a lot of people that I'm really surprised that they are planning to cast. Apparently, there's some of them that have already said yes, some of them that they haven't yet, and there's been some. Me and Adri go back and forth. She's not as big a Borderlands nut, but she's a little bit better about some more of the newer more recent celebrities and everything, and so she and I have our own like cast build out that we think that they should do, and oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome.
Well, who knows? Maybe me and Kuro Cross might audition for roles. Why not?
Well, this is gonna be a live action movie though. This is this is the
what?
kicker.
I could be the guy with the eyeball. I don't know what his fucking name is.
You'll have to show me some stuff there. I'll see if I can.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll pull it up here after a little bit. It's interesting. I had one that really it would stand out, and anybody that knows Borderlands at all would probably want to shoot me on the one hand, but on the other hand, it would be absolutely amazing. Terry Crews needs to be Mr. Torg.
Yes.
There we go. Yo.
Yes.
I know there's a difference in skin color, but honestly, I think he would be the perfect guy for the job. Exactly. It would be awesome.
You know,
he has his own aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, and then Aurora,
Whatever it is.
He has it all.
Yes. Well, and I will give them this one. This one they actually did apparently for the casting. The guy that will be playing the voice of Claptrap is going to be Jack freaking Black. Yes.
Oh my god.
I was broke when I heard that. I'm like, no. Yes, this is going to be a good movie. There's a couple of them that I think I'm not personally a fan of their pick for Roland, but we're going to see where it goes. Yes. Yes.
When I heard Jack Black, immediately started the Tenacious D.
Yes.
You know what that is. That flooded back to me, just kick a poo.
Yes.
All those weird songs was like,
yes.
This is gonna be awesome.
I could totally see him being Claptrap.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I can see him busting out a couple of like Tenacious D songs just in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Just for parody.
Yes. So I can say from what I read up on this the last I looked at it, they've already got somebody in there for Marcus. I don't remember who they had. They had Lilith has already been cast. Tiny Tina is going to be in it somehow. I'm going to have to see how that goes. Roland, this is the only real character I have a problem with they cast for is for Roland, they have Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart, don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
It just, to me, it just doesn't fit right.
Yeah.
Now,
Kevin
me personally, Lance Reddick, I think, would have been a much better choice for Roland.
Yeah.
Zavala, anybody? I mean, come on, that would be the perfect one.
It'd be a perfect fit.
I think he would be absolutely amazing for that role. Maybe they asked him and he said no. Maybe they didn't ask him. I don't know, but I'm still going to be very curious to see how this goes. But I think definitely, I'm not going to assume anybody from them is going to be listening to this, but Terry Crews needs to be Mr. Torg. Change my mind.
Terry Crews, get on the phone with your manager. Do it. I want to see you in the movie.
That would be absolutely amazing. Honest to goodness.
Hollywood and tell him to do it. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
Hi. Hello.
Because I'm trying to remember some of the, because we never actually wrote any of these down, but we had like a series of different people we thought would be good for different roles, and honestly, that was like the number one. And I've talked with other Borderlands friends of mine that they're like, no, there's no arguing it. That needs to be done. Like that would be awesome. Yes. You know what? We may just have to.
You know what I really wanted to see at E3 that wasn't there, that got pulled, and
yes.
we gotta talk about that sometime. FNAF.
Yep.
The FNAF game got pulled.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and it was supposed to be there, and they pulled it because it had gameplay.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Because it's not ready yet, and it's not coming out. Because it was supposed to already been out.
Yeah.
And so they pulled it, and then we had all this mess.
Yeah.
I know that Scott really, when he made the FNAF games,
yes, all this bloody Twitter mess, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait till the end of the year.
I put it in a
Yeah.
response in a tweet, which was if people could use their human brains correctly, then
Yep.
there wouldn't be any problems because people would be able to differentiate and make a constructive criticism rather than being, oh, blimey, you're wrong. Blah. Do you know what I mean?
Just spewing stuff out of their mouth that's not even logical.
You know, guys, people have different opinions. You can have your own opinions and still like
Exactly.
the same things. The
Oh,
world
yeah.
will not end.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. I mean, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but I mean, at least be like creative with your argument. Don't just go, oh no, he's a wrong and blah. I mean, you gotta have some context behind it. You have to have something. You know what I mean, it'd be like taking somebody that believes in something that you don't like. Say, for example, he believes in a different god to you, and or whatever. So, but your argument is, oh, well, cancel him because obviously, he's a wrong one. He doesn't believe in what we believe in. It's at the basic level.
My mouth.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous.
I mean, I think that some people just like to spew garbage just to cause a
Yeah.
problem.
Tell him.
And it's like, why? Why would you do it? It's, he can have his own thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of what we do here.
If you really
People
do,
around the world have differing, everyone may have a different thing, but where most of us are from in the U.S., it's like, you're free to say that. And I believe that if anybody really does believe it, hey, you got it too. Just say what you want to say. I don't care what you got to say. Say it.
Within
Everyone's
reason.
entitled to their
Yeah,
opinions.
Yeah, within reason.
Everyone has
Yeah.
their own views around beliefs and all that kind of business, and if you want to support certain groups and stuff, doesn't matter if these other groups have their own agendas. I mean, but you want to support them. It doesn't make you as dark as what they. I mean, like, what it was. Scott was like putting money into political companies and groups that were against LGBT, but it doesn't make him anti-gay. Do you know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with that. It's just like he might have supported some other view that they had or something. But it just so happened that, they don't necessarily support that element. And because of that, people got on the bandwagon and started jumping on his ass and being like, oh, Jesus, this guy's a complete, homophobe, and blah, 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 blah. I mean,
right?
most of the time,
I'll give you one on the other side of the
everyone in the
spectrum.
world nowadays, or at least, 85% of the world is, gay, transsexual,
or supportive,
or questioning, or pansy. I mean, it's like 25% of the world is pretty much heterosexual because that is a statistic. If you talk to any of your friends and get them to tell you the absolute truth, they will either tell you that I've been with a girl, or I've been with a guy, and and it's an actual thing. That's it.
Yeah.
the way I see it is that if you ever have something to say, make it a conversation or a discussion. Don't make it a debate or an argument.
Don't argue about it. Just civilly talk.
It's not like your way of the highway.
To be an online spew of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
My thing with that is, hey, if you don't have to agree with everybody, but as long as you're not hurting nobody or making a scene, it shouldn't matter. People can disagree and still be peaceable about it. You know, you don't. Worst case, you say, hey, we can agree to disagree and leave it at that. I mean,
but at the end of the day, we're all individuals, and we're never ever going to agree on everything.
Exactly.
I mean,
the problem is people are too ready to go to arms over everything.
And there's things that you like that I might not like. I mean, for example, I like Marmite and cheese. I know Marmite is a really controversial subject, especially in the UK. And you guys in the US don't know too much about the Marmite, but it is one of those things that it's like you love it or you hate it. But I mean, it's not something that we're going to start wars over. We're not going to try and cancel each other and dox each other. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he fucking likes Marmite. Dox that cunt. Do you know what I mean? Let's cancel him off fucking social media.
Exactly.
It gets it gets to a point where people just get so overloaded with ridiculousness that they're just like, oh, maybe we should just cancel it all together and just silence it. It's like, no. You can agree to disagree. You don't have to say, oh, well, I don't care. Just go, I'm not sure. We can agree to disagree. Shake hands. Go your separate ways. Don't
Well,
be a child and throw a fit.
what we all agree on is people need to not DDoS anybody and be like,
Oh, yeah, no,
That's ridiculous.
That's not
that's
kosher
just
on any
crazy.
level.
Yeah.
That's insanity.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these views that people have, they're not going to change your lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like, God, the government's going to be like, oh my God, I'll tell you what, we need to live by this person's standards. Let's change everything in America.
That wouldn't
Yeah.
work.
Nope.
Go over a lot of people, and a lot of people would be mad, but
Yep.
I have to agree with Metal. It's like, you can have your own thoughts, you can have your own, do whatever, I don't care. If it doesn't directly involve me or hurt me or anyone else, go for it.
Yeah.
Do what you
What's
wanna
it gonna
do.
hurt?
Eastern countries have, yeah, and Eastern countries have it to a certain degree, but not as freely as we do. But in the US and the UK and Ireland, is that we have that freedom of like speech and our freedom of like expressing our own,
Freedom of expression.
ideas and thoughts and feelings and stuff, and without discrimination.
It's crazy to me that some people are kind of so like what's the word? Just like
Hellbent?
unaware of how
Ignorant.
unaware of how good they have it, because because if like you live in the United States a week at like maybe a third world country, you're gonna think to yourself and like really think
Yeah.
like anything and everything you have. You're going to be more thankful than you ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I think
It's a
think
perspective
certain countries
changer.
Have it too easy. You really need to put them
Because
in
they're-
the situation of a perspective difference.
Because there
Yeah.
are people in other countries that say one thing that's maybe against their government or against the simplest thing,
Oh yeah.
or they get shot, they get killed, and it's really
That's really
serious. You really have to.
Yeah.
It's
It gets insane. I mean, it gets blown out of proportion into certain aspects and stuff. And I mean, like over here, obviously, things can be said that would be blown out of proportion, but you wouldn't get killed or shot or whatever, but not necessarily. But it may not be very favorable for you, and then you have to watch your back as you're walking out of like bars and stuff in Ireland and stuff, things like that.
And there's a certain
and
middle ground
you
where
shouldn't
like
have that, because I mean, like everyone has their own freedom of thought. That as long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not like intentionally trying to ruin someone's life or whatever,
there.
shouldn't really make too much of a difference.
Yeah. Well, the other problem too, a lot of times, is a lot of folks don't. It's a lost art of having what's called tact.
civil disagreement.
Well, not even that. So there's certain things that, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You can have an opinion, but there are some times where it might be better advised that you not open your mouth and insert both feet. It's not going to smell very good, trust me. But then there's times where, hey, it shouldn't matter. You should be able to say what you want to say on that. It's a lot of people. That's a lost art at this point.
I agree, because I think there shouldn't be a restriction on what you say and the words that you use or anything like that. People should just don't take things for face value. Just make an only interpretation of what's going on, and just remember that nothing is literal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, if somebody has a view about something, or whatever, when action goes into place, then the shit's going down. When it's words, it's like, well, fuck it, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're words.
Yeah.
It's like, that's air. Do you know what I mean? Air doesn't necessarily hurt you unless you compress it and then fire it in a very, very, hypodermic way. So
the amount of people that
shit about people. Oh God, it hurts your feelings. Oh God, I got to get them back. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Move on. The prick that said it probably didn't have a very fucking high IQ anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You give them the one finger salute and move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
I mean,
that or the middle finger.
why would you be offended by somebody with the IQ of a gnat?
Yeah,
When,
it's not worth it.
When you're literally breaking, galactic bricks with your brain. You know what I
A
mean?
wise person once told me, revenge or pettiness in this case, something of that level where it's like you're just getting back at somebody for saying something stupid to you. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die from it. It just doesn't work. It's not worth
Crying
it.
over spilled milk.
Exactly.
Why
There's
should you
another
care?
one.
Just go buy
Yeah.
more
I suppose
milk.
that makes sense. That makes sense. But I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
I mean, that is the basis. That's the top of the bottom of it. I mean, it's like it never take. I mean, like, and it goes down to cyberbullying and all that kind of stuff. It's like people are just saying words, and of course those things hurt, right? And they make you feel bad, but just rise above it, because I mean it's words.
And for what it's worth,
your worth is,
definitely
and you should
report
always believe in
cyberbullying.
your own worth.
Yeah.
Don't let words make you age faster than you should. Like
Exactly.
it's not something to really dwell on. And plus,
precisely,
like,
I'm 40 years old, and I put my face on camera with several different people, and they still think I'm 27. They think that I'm lying. I'm not lying.
Hey, let them think you're lying. You just get to prove them wrong.
Exactly. Like, what do you got to lose? Like, if people are just gonna sit there and blatantly just spew garbage, it's like, okay, well, here's facts.
the way I like
You
to
got
do it is that, like, usually those kind of people that always want to say something when they shouldn't, like, they're most of the time I like to think that they're looking for a reaction, and that's usually how it is.
And sometimes they have like something in their own background that is detrimental, that they just want to sort of vent to.
Yeah.
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 Well, and even a lot of that too with that, a lot of those folks they want to look like they're powerful. It's basically overgrown bullying. They may know absolutely nothing
super
about what you're
powerful.
talking about,
Well,
and
the
they
other
just
thing
they
is,
want to
well,
feel
I mean,
relevant. They want to
let's
feel
say,
some sort of power.
Let's just say that you, like, I don't know, Markiplier or something like that, and you got loads of subs, and somebody tries to make a detrimental story about you, tries to make like a rumor about you.
Yeah.
It's because they're jealous of what you've got, and they want some of that. So they want a bit of that action. Do you know what I mean? If they accuse you of something and you find it hard to like prove your innocence, because obviously it's completely fake. So how can you prove your innocence? It's really hard.
Exactly.
And eventually you can. These people have had all that exposure. Do you know what I mean? So they get all that. They get all that. All that support and stuff.
At that point, it turns into guilty until proven innocent. But if you can't prove you're innocent, then it's in the court of public opinion. You're guilty whether you can prove it or not, which is BS in my mind.
Let's put it this way: when it comes to certain circumstances, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. I know this because I already did this with myself. I was guilty for a particular thing that happened until I proved my denying 100% innocence with all the evidence I had. It literally took me 2 to 3 weeks to prove innocence. And after posting it on Twitter, they actually owned up and said that they lied.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and on the other side of that, just for sake of saying, I've only seen this not happen maybe once, and even then it still ended up happening. It just was very quiet. But the truth will come out every time.
Oh, of course. The truth always comes out. But it's just so sick sometimes.
Yeah.
That it only takes two seconds to make somebody guilty. But it takes three weeks to make them innocent. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a reverse. It's a reverse service. I mean,
a rumor can make it around the world before truth gets its pants on.
And the UK always stand as you are innocent until proven guilty. The system is flawed.
Mm-hmm.
Never believe that you're innocent until you're proven guilty. You are guilty until you're proven innocent. That is the only way.
These days, it's so easy for someone to have their life ruined, and it's crazy to me.
I was gonna say it takes just saying one wrong thing or having someone say one thing about you that it's just, and it sparks that fire.
Just being in a voice chat and just like having a laugh and doing something silly.
Yeah.
And you didn't know that there was a 15-year-old in the fucking voice chat. Instantly you're some kind of like pedo stalker.
Yeah.
And I've had that before with a couple different instances, but it's like I had no idea. It's the internet.
And the thing is about that situation is it's really hard to get out of because I mean, like you've proven your worth, your innocence, and all the rest of it. You're trying to say like, you know, I didn't know this person was in it. I didn't mean to swear because that's all it is. It's swearing. It's not talking about like doing stuff. It's about like, you know, saying ass or, you know, some other derogatory word.
Yeah. You don't even have to be in a voice chat with these kids anymore, and them to be like, oh, I really hate this person. I'm just going to ruin their life by saying whatever I want to all my other friends, and they're going to believe me because who's going to be there to argue?
Like you can't defend yourself.
Well, the thing is as well. I mean, like most sort of say over 20.
Mm-hmm.
Most over 20s that like would run like Discord servers or any kind of like, you know, community themselves will always take the word of a young person over an older person.
Yeah.
With me, you have to prove it to me.
Prove that they're innocent. The younger person, all they have to say is, "Oh, he said a naughty word to me."
Yeah. It's just instant, like, oh, this younger person accused you, prove that you didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand the basis behind it, you know, because when situations like that come up, it's very, very serious. You have to look into it. But I think, in my personal opinion, that the investigation should go on both sides, not just the guy or the adult, because it could be a boy and a woman, you know.
Yeah.
The investigation has to go on both sides. It has to be her evidence.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah. My big thing is, I believe that the person...
What proof do they have?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that they should do to fix this in servers is that if a person accuses someone else, and just clearly you can tell that it's a fake or a lie or doctored documents, that person should get in trouble. It shouldn't be just be like, oh, this is the end,
because
you're innocent,
that's a false accusation.
and they leave them there on the server. No.
Yeah.
If that person is clearly attacking another person,
spreading a lie.
They should leave. I'm sorry.
There should be repercussions. Agreed.
In my experience, I got kicked out of 4 servers before even being spoken to. I had no explanation or anything like that. I spoke to one server member, or server owner, proved my innocence, and he was happy. He was like, dude.
Oh,
it's fine.
I had something like that happen to me. I talked to the server owner, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is the evidence I have of that never happening. And they got it, and they were like, oh, it's a he said, she said case. You just should block each other. I'm like, I've had this person blocked for the last 6 months. Yeah. It's on them that they're trying to attack me. So what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Nothing?
I had a situation like that where I didn't even know the person. They just were saying something about me. I was banned, made it a point to the human resources team, because I actually had a full HR team. I went to the board of the HR, and I was like, I've never met the person. I don't know who they are. This server's like more than 1,000+ people. I don't know who they are. Oh, well, we don't care. You have no evidence. Bye. And I was permanently removed from the server. I was like,
you remember the thing that happened for me on PS4, Booker?
Dumb.
I had somebody just randomly decide that I was going to get banned from the group with no explanation or nothing.
Yeah.
And it was while they were in power, and then they volunteered to step down from power, and then even though they did that, I was still banned. I'm like, okay, well, y'all are full of baloney. I used other words than that, but we're on a kid-friendly stream right now, so I'm trying to play nice.
The way I see it is that
exactly.
We were a part of.
Yeah.
They had no factual evidence. They're just like, oh, we don't like him because he's a mean person. He's mean. It's like, that's the idea of the character that I
not
play.
even that.
And you guys are getting mad at that, and I was permanently blacklisted from ever coming around. It's like, seriously?
Yep.
The way I see it is that like a lot of people in my age group, in particular online, they always got something to say. They always got something to
Yep.
prove, and they just want that higher place. With me,
They want the
being
attention.
like
Yeah.
being 14, like I just really hate it. It's like, yeah, I enjoy being young, but it's like the people I'm around with both online and in school, it's like always it just sucks really
Yeah.
just being around that atmosphere. And it's like,
That
I
load of
don't
horse
know.
is what gets the rest of you guys thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
It's the old
Yeah.
saying, one person ruins it for everyone.
I find a lot of young people on the internet tend to find an adult that has young of mind, like a young mindset that is like them and does things that they shouldn't do as an adult,
Yeah.
you know, and be like, oh y'all listen to me, you know, follow me, you know, and they feel like this person is someone to look up to, and it's not. You're not someone to look up to. You want to bully people online, you're not someone to look up to. Sorry, no.
Like if you're gonna
Stop telling these kids
on the
to
internet,
do these things.
you're nothing.
Yeah.
So initially, oh blimey, hang on. So initially, viewers, what we're trying to say is, if you ever like experience any of this kind of stuff, talk to a friend, talk to people that you feel
Trust.
close to, yes, and never. Always, I tell you what, right? I'll give you a tip, right? Screenshot everything, right?
Yes.
Screenshot everything.
Yes.
Yes.
All conversations you're having with people, screenshot everything, right? Because that will set you free. Because
Yeah.
Oh,
Screenshot is basically the online version of 4K. Use it.
yeah.
Cut out.
It's your evidence. It is your textbook evidence book to prove
one
your
of the things that
innocence.
helped me was a combination of things. One was a screenshot of the entire conversation I had had with this person, and a recording of me interrogating her why she lied.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Record and screenshot everything, because
Yeah.
you never know in the future whether it will be relevant or not. And I'll tell you what, right? I had all these recordings and screenshots, and I didn't do anything with them. And then suddenly this bullshit happened with me last year, and it cleared my innocence. If I hadn't had those screenshots and recordings, it would have been her word over mine. And because
Exactly.
she's a young person, and I'm an old person, I would have been the one that would have been labelled because I'm old.
You would have been the
Oh.
one that got screwed.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm an older gentleman, and she's a younger lady. And basically, I'll explain this story. Young girl, big fan of mine. You know, me and her started chatting. She was telling me about how she liked my content and all that kind of stuff, and how she's trying to start her own content. I helped her. I edited a few of her videos before she could actually afford to get a PC and all that kind of business. So I tried to help her on her way. And then obviously this 10K stream business happened, and she tried to fuck me over by trying to make it about her by creating a persona. And ever since then, I'm the bad guy.
Aw. Well, guys, I don't know if you know this, but we've been on stream for 102 minutes.
We've also
Hey.
gone down a few different rabbit holes.
Only a few? Are you sure about that?
But this was a
few.
really good. This was a really interesting conversation. I love having these.
What is that in Martian time?
I don't know.
Moral of the
Because
story.
on Mars, they have an extra 4 hours when they go around the sun.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Nice.
That's
True
special.
story, true story.
I'd guess it's probably only been 80 Mars minutes then, if we wanted to try and run that one. I'm sure Google has something to do the time comparison.
And the red daytimes.
Oh my gosh. That sounds really cool. But I think we should probably wrap this up on a positive note.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
The moral of the story, everyone, just
Yes.
you do
It's
yourself.
Father's Day. Everybody, it's Father's Day. So make sure that you make sure that your dads feel special today, because today is a special day for fathers. I mean, they brought you into the MF world, and feel thankful for them, because if they weren't there, then you wouldn't exist. And
Yeah.
I'm the apple daddy, and give me all the love as well, because why not? Bloody hell!
Yes.
Call your parents, call your dad, call everybody, let them know you love them, and if you live with them, give them a hug. Let them
Yeah,
know.
Absolutely.
of course, of course.
Because
Yeah.
tomorrow, as I was always been told as a
You
kid,
could give them a
tomorrow
high
is never
five. You don't have to
guaranteed
give them a
or
hug. You can give them
promised.
a high five if it's a bit awkward. High five
Yeah.
is just good enough. Seriously, that's love a high five. This is proven fact.
And like I said, tomorrow is never a guarantee. You never know.
Exactly.
It's never a promised
never-
thing to you. Let them know you love them.
Yeah, just in case if any.
Life to the fullest, of course.
So, and also
Well,
don't take everything seriously. Live life loosely.
That's true. Well, I think we should all say goodbye and time to end the stream.
So,
So, who wants to go and say bye-bye first?
See y'all
Goodbye,
next
anyone
time.
and everyone.
Yep.
goodbye. We love you. Come back soon. We will have more content. In the future.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
I like how I like.
Svidania.
Yes, remember, patience
Oh,
is a
sorry,
virtue. More will be
English.
coming.
Sorry, English. Goodbye. I keep